Hey everybody, Brad here, and welcome to another episode of Backlog Update, now named Games I Finished. I finished 6 games actually, and I'm just gonna tell you what they were and what I thought about them, and so forth and so forth. So, first up for the Nintendo Wii was House of the Dead Overkill. I actually played this with my boy because you could do two-player co-op, and we had a riot. Like, we couldn't stop laughing. It was so funny. They do a humongous throwback to all the old grindhouse movies. Um, there's like a white cop in it who's like Agent G or something like that, Special Agent G, and there's a black cop who's like the biggest stereotypical black cop you'd ever known, kind of like a mix between Shaft and Black Dynamite. And he's like, what's the motherfucker G stand for? And he's like, you'll never know, or something like that. And it's just like big running gag. But the gameplay in this game is really solid. The controls work very well. I don't know how they work for the PS3 version, but I'm sure they're just as good. There is a replay kind of ability to this. You get higher scores. There's a director's cut, but it was fun. We laughed our asses off, and it was a great game. Do I recommend picking it up? If you're looking for a good rail shooter, absolutely. You'll actually have fun with this. It's not frustrating, and it's hilarious. But if you do have young children, like really young, that are sensitive to the swearing and the content, don't let them play it. But like Xander thought it was the funniest thing ever, so it's a great game. Check it out. Next, UFC Undisputed 3. Like I said in my pickups video, I love UFC. If you guys play any of the UFC Undisputed games, you know what it's all about. Your career mode, you fight up, and you retire. It's great. I liked it. There's really not much to talk about it. Now that they got the new Pride fighting and all that, you can go in the Pride Grand Prix tournaments, which is really nice to see. The animation's fluent. The submission system is a lot better than what it was in the last two games. They kind of copied the EA Sports MMA style, which is good because I thought that was the superior one. But it's good. It's UFC. Like I said, if you're not into UFC, you're not gonna pick it up. But if you are into UFC and just MMA games, this is a definite pickup. It's awesome. It's great to play with friends too, because you can win the match in a moment like that. Next up for the 360 was a game I didn't even think I was gonna like, but I bought on a whim because my friend was like, "Oh, it's so good, you have to pick it up. It's awesome." So I did, and I put it in, and I was like, "This is gonna be garbage." But I was wrong. And Bayonetta, wow, this game is unbelievable. It is so over the top, great action. It's from the creator from Devil May Cry, and it definitely shows. Like, this game is so actiony. It's great. I heard the PS3 version is a little rough around the edges. It has loading problems, frame rate issues. So if you're going to pick this game up, I would definitely get it for 360. It's really cheap now. I think you can get it for $15-$20, and it's totally worth it. You're a witch named Bayonetta, and you pretty much you fight your way through. It's hard to explain. It's like you fight against heaven and the angels, and I don't know. I tried to follow the story the best I could, but it was really hard to follow. It's like maybe I had to play it a second time just to get the gist of everything. But you fight all these. I always want to say demons, but they're not demons. Like these humongous angels, and the boss fights in this game are incredible. Oh my god, the boss fights in the game are so good. You can unlock special abilities, different magic, different techniques, different weapons. I didn't find out through halfway through the game that you can have a sword. You know, I was using my fists and my feet the entire game, and then as soon as I found out I was able to use a sword, I was like flying through the game. But if you're definitely looking to check out a great like action game, or a huge fan to the Devil May Cry series, and you feel like that the series has been sloping ever since the first and third one, definitely check out Bayonetta. Don't let the box art fool you. It's going to be really silly at times, but it's great. The action is great. The story's kind of weird, but if you like weird action games, definitely check out Bayonetta. Second 360 game was Fallout New Vegas. Now, when I was doing my backlog games, I kind of wanted to save RPGs to like near the end, because I figured it's like RPGs take anywhere to 30 to 40 hours sometimes, you know, if you want to do a whole bunch of stuff in it. Like, I'm a completionist and I love achievements. It's like sometimes I won't even play a game for the longest time because of achievements. I just don't want to grind it out. But I popped in New Vegas and it was like falling in love with Fallout all over again, you know. It's good. It's just, I don't know, to me it's just like another expansion, a humongous expansion for Fallout. But the story is kind of, it's okay. The premise is, it's like it takes two different steps to it. It's like you start off with this checkered dude named Benny, like shooting you in the face for no reason, saying how you got caught up in it, and you shouldn't have. But then at the end, you end up fighting for the Hoover Dam. It's kind of like, what the fuck? It's like you have this platinum chip. I can't remember. This platinum chip that everybody wants for some stupid reason, and you're carrying it. So, but then it's like as soon as you get to the point of the mission where you do the platinum chip part, it just drops it, and you're all over with this Hoover Dam. You can either fight it 4 different ways. You can either go with the good guys, the bad guys, the not so good guys, the not so bad guys. But 4 different endings. So it's like if you like that kind of thing and the replayability, and you want to see what happens on 4 different times, make sure you save a lot, because at one point or another, there's no point of no return. So, but the weapons are good. They're interesting. They kind of, there's a lot of them from Fallout 3. There's a lot of new weapons. You can create your ammo now. You can actually add attachments to your weapons, which is really cool. I never really got the hang of creating my own ammo. It's like you get shells and powder and stuff. I just didn't really have time for it. I just found out that I used the assault carbine, and I just pretty much used that for the entire game. But the enemies are kind of blah. They're kind of the typical radioactive, raider type, robot type. It's the usual, really. Super mutant type. There's a new super mutant type that goes invisible, which is just a kind of pain in the ass because they go invisible like they're like invisible. You don't even see them, and then they just flash and scare the shit out of you like the last second. It's kind of a bitch. And super mutants are a lot tougher in this game than they were in Fallout 3, even on the very easiest difficulty, which is kind of nice considering they are super mutants and they will rock your ass at, like. But enough about that. If you're a fan of Fallout, I'd get it. It's really good. You can get the Ultimate package with all the downloadable content for $40, which is pretty much what all the downloadable content costs anyways. Yeah. The companion system in this game is good. There's like 8 of them, and they all have their different perks, and they're all cool. I forgot about that, but would I recommend playing this game? If you're a fan of Fallout, absolutely. If you're a fan of Bethesda, absolutely. If you're just looking to grind away, like you had that Fallout itch from Fallout 3, definitely pick it up. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. Now, the last game, well, I should say the last 2 games, took a lot longer than I actually think Fallout New Vegas did. And I'll tell you why. I picked up Alice the Madness Returns, and if you picked up this game brand new, you got a digital copy of American McGee's Alice. So I haven't played this game in God knows how long. I think when it came out, like 2001. When this came, 2001, year 2000, 2001. So 10 years when this came out. 2011. I know it's 2012. But anyways, so I'm like, okay, um, I'll play because there's achievements. If you beat the game, if you beat this game, you get 100 achievement points. So you know how I am with achievements. So I'm like, all right, let's do it. So I put the code in and I played this, and oh my god, this game has aged terribly. It's so ugly and so rough around the edges. Ugh. And I have to say, the Xbox 360 controller does not do this game justice. It is awful. It's so bad. But once you get the hang of the controllers, it's not bad. Um, this game is it tells a story when Alice comes back from Wonderland the second time, and a fire breaks out in her house. Like, she keeps having dreams about it. Fire breaks out in her house, and she's the only one that gets out, and her family dies in a terrible fire, and she goes insane thinking that it was her fault. So you're in an asylum, and then somehow the rabbit, you go right back into Wonderland, and it's all like, it's awful. It's all gone to hell. It's all gone insane, like she is, right? Like she has. And you fight everybody. You fight the Hatter. You fight the Queen. You fight Tweedledee and Tweedledum. It's just, it's hard to explain. It's like, think of what the scary genre was for like horror games 10 years ago, where it's like the demonic, the bloody, the grim, dirty. It's like the dark, spooky. I don't know how to describe it. But picture that 10 years, well, now 11 years ago for this game. And then you pick up this, and it's two totally different kind of spookiness genres. If that makes any sense. But I managed to plug my way through this entire game. So pretty much all you do is fight through Wonderland again. And Cheshire, the cat, keeps telling you, you'll find your way if you keep going. And then eventually the Queen kills him, and she's all depressed. And I was kind of happy when the Queen killed him. But blah blah blah. You beat the Queen, and then all of a sudden you're like, your Wonderland goes back to normal, and she leaves the asylum. That's pretty much the entire ending. But I'd recommend getting the PC version because the mouse and keyboard is a lot kinder than the 360 version. So that took about like 10 hours to beat. I forgot how long it was. And then I started playing Alice the Madness Returns. This game, I thought was great. The controls were nice and slick. The level designs were great. They look beautiful, nice and colorful. Even when you get down to the darker levels, they're still really gritty and dirty and awesome looking. Excuse me. You get new weapons. Pretty simple. You get a knife. You get a pepper grinder, which is like a machine gun, which is pretty much what you use a lot throughout the game. You get a horse hammer. You get an umbrella to deflect and defend against items, and you also get a teapot, which is like a humongous grenade launcher. They're all upgradable using teeth, which is really weird because teeth is like currency in the game. Each tooth is worth 1, and a gold tooth is worth 5. You think gold teeth would be worth more? But this game follows back. It takes place a year after the asylum, and you're working with this doctor, and he works with kids, forgetting like bad memories, and he's like rebuilding your mind and stuff like that. So Alice is having a hard time. Even though it's been a year, she's having a hard time. She's still having these nightmares, but she wants to find out what caused the fire, and because the whole eating her family, killing her family still eats her up. So she pretty much, long story short, she gets, um, I'm gonna say like scared back. I don't know how to describe it. It's like you go get this medicine for this doctor, and then next thing you know, you're attacked by Jabberwocks. It's really weird, and then you get sucked back into Wonderland, and Cheshire the Cat still talks to you, and you collect memories to find out, what happened. There's a lot of collectibles in this game. There's snouts, there's bottles, there's memories, there's Radula rooms, and rose petals, which gain you more health. It's like, there's like, I don't know, maybe like 300 collectibles, and if you're into that thing, you'll have fun with this. But the only gripe about this game are two things. One, some of the levels have little screen tears in that, and would like cut in the middle kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? And the levels, like this game, was so slow paced. It's like levels were agonizing how long they were. It's like most of the levels were about 3 to 4 hours long for one level. It was agonizing, and like it had serious pacing issues. But when it did pick up, it was good. You were waiting for that cutscene to be like, oh, thank God, I've done the level. Let's learn more about the story. So you pretty much go through, it's pretty much where you left off, where like the Jabberwocks exploded dead, the Mad Hatter's in shambles, the Queen's weird. So pretty much you go through it all again, and you try to find out, who started the fire and was it your fault. Spoiler alert, it turns out it wasn't even your fault. The doctor who's been like helping you remember, like this is where it gets really fucking weird. It was helping you forget. He runs like a prostitution for kids. It's like he warps their mind and brings them up and tears them down, so they have like no self-esteem and they're just like zombies, and he like puts numbers on them, and he lets like people go there and buy them and do whatever they want to them. It's so fucked up. It's so disturbing. It's like a total like million-degree turn from what I thought the ending was gonna be. But it's good. The ending's solid. The ending makes you kind of think about what happens, after, what happens with Alice. But this game was really good. If you can handle the awful pacing and play for 3-4 hours at a time to beat one level, it's a great game. I think you'll enjoy it. Even if you like Alice in Wonderland, or even if you're a fan of American McGee Alice, Alice Returns is a solid game. Well, those are the games I finished. I've gone on for way too long, and I guess I will see you guys when I see you guys. You guys, take care.